Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tassili, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA Executive Director Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And good morning. It's another Saturday game day morning.
It is game day. Go Big Red.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's get a win.
I turned the corner this morning, and then I'm like, where are all the parking spots at?
I know.
There's nothing.
Right? There's usually parking everywhere down here, and it's like, they're half taken up already today, or more, which is surprising.
I need the exercise, so I should, I should
Dude,
always
you got a spot right
10.
across the street.
Yeah, I do.
You had to walk across the street. You okay?
So, yeah, I needed it. That's all right. So today we have a guest with us. It's Heidi with Healing Hands. We're going to talk. We're either going to talk a little mental health, or you guys have planned an intervention, which we will be doing live on the air because I need help. Right?
Yes, that's very true. Well, that's where my thought came from. I'm like, Travis needs this. He really needs this.
That's why you were pushing to get her on the schedule so quick, because
very much so.
We're losing time.
So welcome, Heidi. It's Heidi Brandt. Heidi Brandt is a realtor with me at Home Real Estate. She's an amazing human being and has started this foundation that's amazing. But before we go there, Heidi, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, I know you're not grown up, but where did you try to grow up?
Like, where did I try to? Yeah, that's very true. And you're the original reason I wanted to talk about mental health. So let's just get that out of the way.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. It's
absolutely turned.
Thank you so much for having me. For one, it's absolutely gorgeous day. And go Big Red. But I grew up about 40 minutes from here in a small town of Friend, and went to college in Kearney, and then made my way to Lincoln, and then actually was on the East Coast for about 15 years and tried to grow up there, but then I came back about almost 7 years ago, which is insane. So, and got into real estate, which is how I've had the pleasure of getting to know you. So,
what did you do back east?
So I was actually in high-end spa management.
Okay.
Worked for a resort spa up in the Berkshires in Western Massachusetts, most of that, and then spent about 4 years on Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, helping to open a spa. And just it's such an amazing world. It's all hospitality, which is what real estate is as well. So it's been a good fit to come back and do that.
And what made you decide to come back to Lincoln?
Family originally was, just thought my younger brother had a couple of kids, and I was burned out of what I was doing out there. And you're either in the spa world at that capacity, and it's 24/7, because a lot of people go the holidays, they go to the spa. So you're in it kind of or you're not. And so I was just burned out for the most part, and wanted to come back to my roots. And it was fun to come back and see all the things that had changed in Lincoln, and yet all the things that had stayed the same, which is still the smallest big town in America, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
So yeah.
My next stand-up comedy is going to be funny names of cities, and like, how did they come up with Friend is like right there on the top.
Somebody's last name.
Can you see? Yeah, the little city council was sitting around. What should we call it? Friend? I don't know. Friend. How about Friend?
I did a book report in high school on the guy that started Friend, and it was his last name. It was interesting. It was interesting. There's we could go on about Friend, but cemetery out there that we have some really good stories that I probably should not share on the radio.
Okay, we won't. So Heidi, what led you to opening a nonprofit foundation for mental health?
So I've had something on my heart for a long time. Mental health, statistically, we're all probably affected by it in some capacity, whether that's us personally or somebody that we know and love dearly. And My journey growing up, I was 12-ish when I was pretty heavily already into an eating disorder that I just didn't know that's what it was at the time. And so I kind of rode that roller coaster for quite a while, and navigating through college and then into all the way till I was in Massachusetts, really, where I kind of got busted. Really, a good friend of mine at the time had busted me, but I was also ready to get help. So that was kind of the beginning of a healing journey. And the last few years, I've just had it on my heart to do something and had a lot of conversations with God through that. And I'm stubborn, so I've ignored those for a long time. But this last year, a couple years ago, a good friend of mine's son committed suicide on Christmas Eve. And then we had a realtor, John Fink, that committed suicide on Memorial Day, um, 2 Memorial Days ago. So there was just a nudge to do something. And I had my dog at the time, Boomer. We would go out to Pioneers Park all the time, and you go down the hill, up the hill, and there's a big pasture out there. And we'd go, and the sledding hill is out there. And if
Right.
a lot of people know the sledding hill at Pioneers Park, it's a lot more fun to go down than it is to come up. But that I had the idea of, exercise and physical fitness, and that has been a huge part of me and my healing journey, going to whether it's the gym or being outside in nature or whatever that is. And so the idea was kind of like the hill is a really good metaphor for life. That sometimes life gets hard and I think people get stuck because they don't know who or how to ask for help. That's where the slippery slope comes in. And on the hill, which we'll talk about the event, but the hill that you can ask for help and you can take a rest. You just can't quit. So we're gonna complete the challenge. Um, is kind of where all that came from, as my journey into how this all started. The event came first, or the idea of it, and then wanting to be able to take money in and give money out. We needed to start a foundation. So that's where Healing Heights Foundation came in.
So it seems like you try and look at mental health and you think, gosh, was it always this way? Are we just becoming more aware of it? Or is it there are more issues that are coming up? Because as a kid, you grow up, you never really heard, except,
Right.
there might've been a crazy guy in the neighborhood or
Right.
something, and
Yeah.
they labeled him and moved on down the road. So is it a growing, I know it's a growing problem as the population is growing, but are more people having mental illness?
I think it's a combination of things. I think it's one, we're becoming more comfortable talking about it. So the statistics are going up in that capacity of there are people asking for help more. And so that there's so many people out there with even anxiety, depression, that don't talk about it. So they're not part of that statistic. But the ones that are, that kind of makes that statistic go up in that capacity. And we have more resources now, and more people like Simone Biles are talking about it, and even our own Harper Murray and
Right.
in town. And so I think that gives other people permission to also come forward with it. But at the same time, suicide rates are also going up.
Yeah.
And I think that's a combination of social media and not being used correctly. I think COVID set us back, however many steps with mental health and not
Sure.
having the
And
social
isolated.
yeah,
somebody.
isolation of all of that and not knowing how to navigate those things. So I don't think it's a black and white answer. I think it's a combination of those things. And my goal with all of this, because where I got stuck was, and I think most people do, is it's either stubbornness or fear of judgment or just the inability to know, or we think we're bothering somebody, so we don't talk about it or we don't ask for
Well,
help.
or shame.
Yeah.
Feel
Or
like,
shame,
you're
exactly. Yeah,
inefficient.
yeah. We don't
So,
want people to know we're suffering.
Part of the thing with mental health too. So when I grew up, one of the phrases that my dad would use all the time, which in retrospect, I'm thinking this is like the stupidest thing, but it'd be like, I was an emotional kid. And so if I was crying, it'd be like, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
dude,
no.
I have something to cry about. I'm crying right now. I don't need another thing. But, seriously, in the 60s and 70s, I think a lot of it was just, you just dealt with it and moved on. And that's the way it
Yeah.
was. Secondly, I think with social media now and news. So it's like, if you're feeling a little depressed about things and stuff going on in the world, when I was young, news was on at 6 and 10 for half an hour, and you maybe heard local stuff. But if something happened in Texas, you may not hear about it for a week.
Right.
Mhm.
And if something happened in Japan, you may never hear about it.
Mhm.
Now, today, 24/7, it's like it feels like there's crisis everywhere. So I think it probably heightens, the entire mental health thing. Well, those of you listening, this is the Lincoln Independent Business Association Hour. on Saturdays. We love that you're listening. This will also be a podcast. So
Yeah.
it's August 31st today. Go Big Red, the first game. But if you're listening a year from now, well, hopefully you can see the game on YouTube or something.
Yeah, there you
because
go.
It's over. But we'll be right back in a little bit with Heidi Brandt with the Healing Heights Foundation.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
Our lives only have so much time, but if you smoke, you have less. Your life could be 10 years shorter, and the time you do have is often filled with health problems, shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, and cancer. But the minute you quit, your body starts healing.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $25.60 per hour, which grows to $30.12 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $34.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol. You really think so? No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
The kicker from Iowa, I don't know. What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Help me!
No, you need to give the name for your
I
boy.
don't know.
Tory Taylor.
Tory Taylor.
Yeah, and you didn't say that.
That's what I meant.
It's how you said.
But I said Iowa.
But you didn't get the guy's name.
But what does
We're
that
asking
mean?
for the name.
I gave the team and the player.
You did not give the player. You gave the team and the position.
This is a cheat.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
And we're back on the LIBA Business Hour. We're talking with Heidi from Healing Heights Foundation. And one thing we started talking about was social media. And I look at young people today, and you see this social media, and everybody is so consumed by it. And we live in this Facebook world, right, where everything is rainbows and Skittles, and nobody ever gets on social media and goes, "Oh my God, my life is falling apart. I'm a turd. I can't get things together." You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. So it's always you're going to find this tiny little piece of happiness within your life and share that. But if you're struggling and you get on social media and you look at all your friends and go, "My God, is it just me? Is it my life that's falling apart?" And everyone seems to have it together. I'm not a fan of social media at all, just because of that reason. And that has to be causing some serious problems. Like we were saying, the suicide rate is going up, depression is going up, and especially in the younger generations. Is that something that you're seeing a lot of?
Yeah, I think that one of the statistics that's super alarming to me is that 1 in 6 kids ages, I think 6 to 17 in the US experiences some kind of mental health disorder. And suicide is the second leading cause of death between the ages of 10 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me just blows my mind. Like when I first was going through statistics and I think the big reason is social media has a big part of that. And like I said, again, I think COVID was another big thing that was also setting people back because they lost 3 years of the ability to have social interaction, which is so important for kids that age. So them coming out of that shell and then, their whole connection with the world was through a screen. And social media does do that. There's so many people that are just putting the highlights of their life on social media. And if you're comparing, comparison is just an analysis paralysis kind of thing. And we do it as adults. I know adults very well that are addicted to it as well. And they can't, the first thing they do is sit down and start scrolling. And you don't even realize how much time you've passed that when you're on social media. So I think, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever it is, there's definitely got to be a balance of, the addiction side. We kind of talked about this a little bit before of like using it as a positive tool to be able to share things like the event or our foundation or things like that and having a positive impact, staying in contact with people that you don't normally stay in contact with is the positive side of it. But yeah, there's, especially without having a control of some sort of time limit kind of thing.
Well, we'll get more into the specifics of the event itself, but and I'll just hop in right now. One of the things I love about this event that you're doing, and it's on September 22nd, by the way, it's out at Pioneers Park at the Sledding Hill, if you know where that is. And the idea is that you're going to go down the hill, across, up the hill, and across 50 times.
Correct.
Ooh. So it's a lot. Yeah, I know getting across the street was hard.
Yeah, I know.
Travis,
I was complaining and I'm here.
Here's what's cool about it, Travis. You can do it as a team.
Yes.
So you can get 4 people and be a team. And anytime you can ask for help.
Yes.
And I think when I think a lot about mental health, me personally, just other people, we talk about with LIBA, if you're out there and you're an entrepreneur, so let's just plug LIBA for a minute. You're out there and you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business. you're going to have tough times. I mean, suddenly you're doing marketing, HR, payroll, the whole ball of wax if you're a small business. It's a struggle, and it's okay to ask for help. That's what's cool about LIBA. It's a member organization of people that are kind of in the same boat with the same thing. But especially if you're from my generation, we were taught that, asking for help is kind of a sign of weakness. Just like deal with it, dust yourself off, and move on. But we're in a society now, add the social media, add the 24-hour news, where it's still a struggle to ask for help. And that's what's most important, because you're not, if you're listening right now, you're struggling with depression. There's some big issue that's got you down. You're behind on taxes. You're behind on rent. You lost your job. You can't make your house payment, whatever it might be. You're not alone. We've all been there or know someone that's been there, and asking for help is okay. So I love that on this journey, this event, Hell on the Hill, which that's why it's a really good name. Like one time around will be.
Well, it sounds like it, right? Yeah.
You can ask for help.
Yeah.
There'll be volunteers that'll take the lap for you, or 2 laps, whatever you need. So I think that part's really cool.
How about 49? Can I get a volunteer to take 49 of them for me?
That's called a team.
That's called a team. You could do like the registration desk.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
So tell us a little more about the specifics of what's going to happen. First off, how do we register?
So the registration is up on the website. It's healingheightsfoundation.com. All the information about our website and kind of what the hub of Healing Heights Foundation is, but then also the registration for the event is on there as well. So like you said, September 22nd, it's a Sunday morning. And we're going to kick it off, as the actual start time is at 9, check-ins at between 8 and 8:45. And we've got a couple fun things. It's hard to call this a fun day, but it's going to be an impactful, beautiful day in its own way. But it is 50 laps around. You can either do it individually or as a team, so to speak, and you can break up those laps as many times. If one person does 1 lap and the other 3 do the rest, that's totally fine. But you're going to have, as part of your swag bag, aside from like getting a t-shirt, that kind of stuff, everyone gets a fanny pack, and the fanny pack will hold 50 tokens. And so the tokens, every time you come around, you're going to drop a token into a tote or a box or whatever we have. And that is representation of how you're counting your laps, but also how you're letting stuff go in life. So every time you drop a token, your fanny pack's going to get a little bit lighter, and you're letting something go that's been holding you back, is kind of the message of that. So that was a way for me to be able to have everybody count laps, and then also just have a message with it as well. So 50 laps individually is about 8 miles. People cringe when I say that, and I know that this isn't for everyone to do physically, but the idea is that it is supposed to be hard, and that you can ask for help, and there'll be people there to either take a lap with you or for you, or if you do it as a team, you can break that up as well. So,
well, I love that, because it's a perfect,
perfect metaphor,
life is hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, life is hard.
Yeah,
so,
and we're all carrying around 50 things in our life that are weighing us down, and sometimes you just gotta put that bag down and say, I just can't deal. I'm not going to worry about this anymore.
Yeah,
right.
There's nothing I can do to change. Because you look at, again, going back to mostly young people, you see all these people who are out there and they're protesting Israel, and it's like, you know what? Let Israel handle Israel. Get back to class. All right, seriously. But you allow these things to consume you,
right?
Of which you have no control over whatsoever. So put that bag down and start worrying about something else and improving your own life.
Yeah.
Well, there's a need for it, because look at Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. That book has millions of copies, right? Why? Because we sweat the small stuff, which is so unnecessary, and it adds up. It just builds. It's like a plaque that just eventually clogs your brain, and, worst case scenario can happen.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that, on my journey, I should say, and a lot of people I've talked to, focusing on doing something, and I want to talk about gratitude with you. Focusing on doing something positive for other people, or out in the community or in the world or whatever, is one of the best ways to take the negativity or going down the rabbit hole of being stuck in some kind of negative cycle. That part of the project that this is a way for me to do that, of like saying, okay, I've had this on my heart. It's focusing something that's much bigger than I am. And that's been such a healing thing for me to do, and having conversations like this and with other people out in the community and getting the support that we have. So I think that's just a good reminder for people that if you are stuck in a hard spot or a negative spot or whatever, like start focusing on positive things that are bigger than what you are, whether that's volunteering at a shelter or, animals or whatever that is that kind of speaks to you.
Yeah, and one thing that I've always in my life is you start hitting hard times,
Mhm.
look around.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people out there, go down to the city mission, and volunteer, even if it's for an hour.
Mhm.
It'll put your problems in perspective.
Yep.
And I think that's something again that a lot of people are missing. And don't be afraid to reach out for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. We all
Right.
need help. Sometimes you need medication to get you over the hump. Sometimes you need to go
sure. Yeah.
talk to a professional just to get your problems out on the table.
And I understand the need for HIPAA, for example, right? But one thing that I think HIPAA's done that it as an unintended bad thing, so to speak, is that it's kept people from talking about issues that they would need to ask for help.
Right.
I'm going through a health situation where I'm like, I don't like HIPAA anyway. So of course I'm just telling everybody about mine. It's like an open book, but I've had so much help along the way of people to say, hey, so-and-so went through this and they're going through that. And I have a high school friend that is going through it like way worse than me. So it's also, so it's like, I pray for her every day, and not just for me, because it's like, things could be worse.
Right.
And, we do, Heidi, you were bringing this up, but we are in a group where we do our gratitudes every morning. I'm actually in 3 groups where I did. So my morning starts every day with an email. And then throughout the day, usually throughout the morning, I'm getting the replies back on emails that people are sharing 3 things they're grateful for. And when you start your day that way, it has just fundamentally changed. I've been doing it for 2 years and it's a big change in attitude.
And I think that's a big part of it is just getting your mind right.
Yep.
In that you just have to look, there's successes in your life and a lot of people will blow past those successes and go, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. But this one thing happened to me today and I'm letting it consume me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, stop. I think that's a great idea.
Or social media. You see it's all wonderful stuff all day long. Everything's really, really great. And you're sitting here, for better case of a word, wallowing in what's happening with you, or it's just something challenging for you. And it's hard to kind of get over that hump and get your mindset in the right place. If you're going to be successful, you need a good mindset, a good skill set, and you have to take action. If you can't get past the mindset right, the other 2 things aren't going to happen. And eventually you're going to feel like a failure. And the idea is if you can get those 3 things in order, you can deal with the importance of getting to the point where everything that happens to you every day, you have 2 choices, basically, right? Something happens to you, is brought to you or whatever. You have 2 choices. You can either become a victim because of it.
Right.
Oh my gosh, woe is me. This is a nightmare. I got a letter from the IRS and being audited, whatever it might be. Or you can be a player. If you have your mindset right, you can be a player. If you can get to the point where you can be a player with everything that's happening to you, that's a great thing. So the hump is kind of to go, obviously, like Flip Wilson always had the devil on one side and God on the other of his shoulders, and the devil made me do it, right? and actually the bad guy is going to try to keep you from being happy or asking for help.
Yep.
That's one thing I just love about this whole Hell on the Hill experience on September 22nd is that it's like, it is okay to ask for help.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's been the coolest part about the gratitude stuff, because there's 6 of us in there, and I'm in a couple other groups too, but this group particular, the way that you get to know somebody through their gratitudes has been like the best part of it. It's such an awesome way to start the day or be able to talk about stuff. But we also bring up, and sometimes it's as simple as the sunrise or the sunset, and bringing back the joys of everyday life that we get to see and we take for granted every day. And sometimes it's things, like our friends are going through cancer or those kind of things, and they get heavy. But it's really awesome to be able to share that with people that you that have become really close with it through that too.
Yeah. Any team that you're on, the important thing that develops over time is trust. So, I mean, it's not even a team, a group, an organization, LIBA, you've got a board, advisory board, so on and so forth. It takes a while to develop that trust. I think in this group that we did just do this Ninja Real Estate group every Monday morning, and it's really gotten to be a tight group where we can share the struggles along as well as the really good things. I know one, we recently got a new member, and in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, she's amazing with real estate. She sells all this stuff, and I mean, now I know that, oh, she ain't all that. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, Karen. But it makes you realize we all struggle.
Yeah.
You know, right? And it's really easy sometimes to just go, wow, look at all this success everywhere. And I haven't made it yet, you know, when it's like you're on your journey, you know, and asking for help along the way is important. I know I keep saying that, but I just think
It
that's
is.
a huge part of
It
this.
really is, because a lot of us, like we just said, our generation is, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, rub some dirt in it, get tough, move on. Well, it's not that easy. It really isn't. I know a friend of mine, his daughter was struggling, and she had went in and she had gotten some help, saw a psychiatrist, got some medication, and was on it for a while. And he goes, well, she just needs to get off of this and get past it.
No.
Well, it's not that easy,
right?
Because I've been in those situations before where you had to get some medication just to get you over the hump.
Yep.
You don't have to take it forever, but sometimes you need help, and sometimes you need, I don't know if you would say chemical help, but medication type help to help get past that hump.
Yeah,
it's getting better, but somewhere along the way we lost that it's okay if you have diabetes to take something to make you better, but if there's synapses in your brain that aren't clicking right, it's really not okay to take something to make you better. You just are kind of weird and have a problem.
Yeah.
And it's good that we're getting past that.
Yeah.
So my daughter studied the brain a lot in urology, and she talked a lot about it, but I think there's over like 1,200 different types of medication for challenges that you might be having with your mental health. And it's important for people to realize, if you are prescribed something, if that doesn't work, there are a lot of other choices. So I think sometimes when you get to that level of need, don't give up.
Right. Yeah, and
ask
part
questions.
of it too, I think, is start focusing kind of back to the don't sweat the small stuff, and start focusing on things that you have control over.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, that are they're all wound up with the elections that are coming up. And oh my God, if Trump gets elected, the world's going to end. And the other group says, oh my God, if Harris gets elected, the world's going to end. I've been through a few elections now, and we're still here, right? Yeah, it's kind of like we thought the same thing. Every single election, you think it's going to end, and you see these people who are ramped up, and you see these people who are screaming and crying because their candidate didn't win. Guess what? We're still here.
It'll be okay.
We're okay.
Yeah.
Just go vote on voting day and work on you for the next 4 years.
Yes.
Because you have more control over yourself than anything on the national level, political, non-political, just work on yourself. And I think that's something people need a healthy dose of.
Yeah. So Heidi, again, to register, is it healingheights.com or
healingheightsfoundation.com?
healingheightsfoundation.com. You can register there for this event.
There. Yep.
It's going to be an awesome event. So let's talk a little bit about, where do you see the foundation in 2 years, in 5 years? What is your long-term goal? I'm assuming that it's people can reach out to help with you financially if they need to find a mental health provider, or that you will eventually have mental health providers on your webpage. What's just some of your kind of long-term visionary goals?
So the Healing Heights Foundation is really a hub or resource for the event, and long-term goals. The money that we raise through the event or any other things that we do is to help people to have the resources to get the help that they need, whether that's a therapist or places like Cedars or North Point or whatever. We're trying to build those relationships where we can have resources to have people go whatever kind of modality that they're looking for. Obviously, that takes donations and money. I think statistically, 42% of the people that would like to have help can't afford it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's as simple as, it's not simple, it's going to a therapist, or just being able to have a professional to be able to talk through things, whether it's getting them on the medication or that they need, or just having the ability to talk through stuff and get past whatever that thing is that's holding them back, that they're going through. Long term, obviously, I want this to be an annual thing and grow in our community. I want to start and make this a really strong foundation here in Lincoln. We have such a good support here. Big picture wise, in a perfect world, I would love to be in a lot of college communities around and go through, bigger college communities and have that be a huge support. I know that the Greek system here is really good, and mental health is a big part of them. And I'm hoping that they're going to be a part of this. I think they are. And just, expanding it to communities that are open to having the conversations, and just making it an event that doesn't matter age. It doesn't matter everybody's inclusive. You know, we have vets that are going to be there. We have LGBTQ. We have older and younger. You know, being able to talk about this stuff and represent out there as well that day. So yeah, we're just hoping to grow it and hopefully share it in different communities throughout.
So are you down on the campus actually working with all the
Yeah.
fraternities and sororities?
Yep, we're trying to get representation. I think they're going to be out there. Amy, so we have two other people on the board. Ryan Rickenbaugh, who I grew up with, but he has he's been in education for a really long time. And then Amy Marks is a therapist in town, and she actually has two boys in two different fraternities at the university. So they're excited, and hopefully they're going to have a group, and they have to have, you know, community hours and that kind of thing. And mental health has been a big part of the Greek world the last few years as well. So this is a really good opportunity for them to be a part of it. And if they want to turn it into a fun competition between fraternities and sororities, then knock yourself out.
Yeah, go for it. Right.
You know,
exactly.
bring it out and have some fun with it. I think they would bring a really good energy out there. So excited to have them be part of it.
So right now, if somebody who's listening
Mhm.
needs help, what do they do? Do they call you and
They
you guys help them?
Yeah,
find
they
somebody?
can. We're not quite to the part. We're gonna, you know, get past the event and see where we are with funds. And the idea is that we're gonna have a scholarship style, so they'll be able to apply for those funds. And well, the board and maybe some other people will be a part of how we facilitate that and be able to give out those funds. So
Okay,
yeah,
very
we have
good.
people in the community, a couple therapists and like I said, organizations that are willing to be a part of that, so that we have the resources to send people.
Oh, that's fantastic. So when somebody calls and they need some help, you just, you know, beyond, you just hook them up with somebody who specializes. So you're already working with a lot of mental health providers,
Yes.
Psychologists,
Yep.
and so forth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
So the foundation would be more like a concierge.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. But you can find
Yeah.
out a little bit. Also, so I was able to go on the other night and just make a single donation, which is great. So
Mhm.
people can do that through the webpage. So
Yep.
that's great. But also one thing that I really love, you know, we're in the age of subscriptions, right? You know,
Yep.
so that's another beautiful thing on there. I noticed that you have a subscription page where you can just automatically donate $10. I think it starts at $10,
Mhm.
$10 a month, 25, 20, whatever amount you're comfortable with, you can set up doing on a monthly basis. That would be really, I think, the wonderful way for the organization to grow, right? $10 a month is $120 a year.
Yep.
I get in this economy, $10 can be a lot, but it can be a way to help and start. You know, of course, it's a tax write-off, so that's always something to keep in mind because you are a 501c3,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
So it's a tax write-off for you. So that's another thing you can do on the webpage. Maybe you're like, you know what, I don't even want to sled down the hill if it's in the middle of winter. I'm not going to go do that. You can still help. And this is a way to help that will benefit those in need, which I think is really, really awesome too. So there's a lot of resources on the webpage. I really enjoyed, you know, looking through it and spending time on it the other night. But keep that in mind also, you know, just, you know, $10 a month, $25 a month, you know, whatever you can afford, if you can do that. Hopefully it wouldn't break the bank, but it's a way to just give on a regular basis, and it's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Give it to the foundation instead of the IRS.
And even if it's a one-time donation of $10,
Right.
it all
It does
adds
add up. It does add up.
You know,
Exactly.
I think back to years ago when I was working at a radio station, and we went out to Country Cares for St. Jude, and they have a very similar
Yep.
setup, right? And you go through and you see these kids who are battling cancer and stuff. Talk about putting your problems into perspective.
Yeah.
But they do the same thing.
Yep.
They have a $19 a month, you know, donation, and I've been doing it for 20 some odd years now.
Yeah.
And it's one where over time it adds up.
Sure.
And even a $10 donation, it all adds up, and you can actually do a lot of good and help. So
yeah, well, we've been listening and speaking with Heidi Brandt with the Healing Heights Foundation, and it's a Saturday morning, first game day here in Husker Nation. So go Big Red! We're gonna get a win today. I'm certainly hoping, and sadly, if not, you know, well, donate to the Healing Heights Foundation, and you can get some mental health. But you're listening to the LIBA Business Hour. We'll be back in a moment.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
A new school year is here with summer coming to an end, and it's time to get into proper shoes. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this August with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoe with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. Don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start the fall season off right with the August athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score up to $2,000 off the brand new Kawasaki Ridge. Built for work or play, the Kawasaki Ridge takes off-road comfort to a whole new level. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of August. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Play ball! Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Strike three, you're out.
Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G35609. 9293 must trade.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by U-Stop and Whitehead Oil.
And we're back for the final segment of the LIBA Business Hour, and we're on with Heidi from Healing Heights Foundation. And I was on, just kind of preparing for our conversation today, I was on your blog, and you had written something about imposter syndrome. What exactly is imposter syndrome?
So we were kind of talking about this in a different way as we were talking about comparing ourselves in social media and having that. And imposter syndrome is really just not thinking that you're good enough to do the things that you're doing. So the example I had in that blog was I was talking with a good friend of mine who actually has his PhD and he does some amazing things, and he was still getting stuck, for as educated as he was and as knowledgeable about his subject, was still getting stuck in not doing things because he was afraid he didn't know enough, or he didn't think that he would be the person to be able to share the knowledge that he has. And I think we all go through that in some capacity. And I 100% do that going through this process with the Healing Heights Foundation of, going out and sharing, and thinking that I don't know enough about mental health and all the statistics and all the things. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or even a therapist or any of that. It's just been my own personal experience. And what I've found in talking with people about that specifically is that our own personal experience can sometimes be the biggest education and the biggest, permission to other people to say, even though I don't have the background of schooling or education that says these things, my story is allowing other people and giving them permission to talk about the things that they struggle with as well. And so imposter syndrome is really just in a nutshell, kind of when people get stuck in moving forward because they don't feel like they're either good enough or knowledgeable enough to do so.
I don't have that. I think I have the opposite of that. I think I have where somehow I succeed in spite of myself. I'm not sure what that's called, but I think that's
called Gary Tharnish.
Yeah, the Gary syndrome.
It's very unique, of course.
So Hell on the Hill is the 22nd.
September 22nd. It's coming up fast.
Yeah, it'll be here, 3 weeks away?
Yeah, about,
So still time to register.
Still time to register,
right?
Yep.
At healingheightsfoundation.com.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
And who are some of your sponsors? Who are some people who are helping you out?
So we've had some good sponsorship step up. So Altitude Motion Media stepped up, and we did an awesome video a couple months ago now as promotion, and they're awesome to work with. They do a lot of our stuff in real estate, but they stepped up and did a really cool video for us. Kincaidor and Sideshow, local here to town, they have stepped up and they're taking care of the fun things like the porta potties and water.
Those are fun.
It's important though. It's so important that day. 3 Pillars Performance gave a great donation in sponsoring, and one of my dear friends in Omaha, Stacy, and her husband Dustin Tovar have Big O Fitness, and she's actually going to come down that day and do the event, and then also speak on how fitness, and they team up with some resources in Omaha that have to do with recovery and the statistics for when people get involved in some form of exercise, whether it's a gym or classes or out in nature, the statistics that help them in their recovery is just phenomenal. So she's going to talk about that day too. So yeah, and then we have places like 402 Title that Gary and I use
Nice.
for real estate, and Leadership Harbor, and some some people and friends that have stepped up with some really good donations too. So feel very lucky to have all that.
And what time does the event start?
So the actual event kicks off. We'll be walking by 9:00, 9:00 in the morning. But check in. Everybody will already be registered. But check in that day will be from 8 to 8:45.
Okay. And so is it walking? Is it running? Is it a race? Is it just?
It is not a race.
It's survival.
It is
survival. Yes.
It is not running. It's really just walking. And if people want to run it, that's fine. But I suspect most people will just be walking it.
Yeah, if you want to run and unload your problems
Exactly.
faster, you can do
Exactly.
that. So no, that is excellent.
It is.
And like we mentioned earlier, I love the idea too, though, that you can do teams.
Yeah.
Because 50 times around that, I mean, it's for me, I'm like, oh, my couch looks so much better than that. But the 50 times around, you can do a team of 4, or is it limited to your team, or can I do a team of 50?
You can do 4.
That's a relay.
Yeah, right. I have maybe tweaked that a little bit where I'm letting people have a few more than 4 because they didn't have enough for 2 teams. So
that's okay.
Since it's not a race and there's not a trophy at the end, I'd rather just have people come out. And if you have 6 or 7 or 8 people, then just come out and have fun.
I love that. And then the idea of being able to ask for help. You actually have people stationed that you can ask for help, and they'll take a lap for you or a couple if you need a break, right?
Yes, for sure.
Great.
So I was going to tell this. I went out on Mother's Day, or Sunday, and I did this because I had an idea of how long it was going to be and whatever, but I wanted to know exactly what this was going to feel like. So I go out, and by myself, I have my headphones. I'm like, I got my music and my Audible books and podcasts. Like, I'm set for however long this is going to take. And what I knew it was going to be physically hard and tiring. What I didn't think about was the monotony of going around in a circle or in the laps 50 times. Because it's one thing to go for an 8-mile walk and just see different scenery. But it won't be like that day because there'll be other people and music and things going on. To that capacity, but it will still get monotonous. And so I think that was a really good metaphor, a good reminder of like, sometimes that's life too. That it's not always exciting and different and whatever. And sometimes we get stuck in the monotony of life. And it was a good reminder.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
It's just a grind. And that's
well, yeah. And mentally, if you're already going down that, vortex of sadness and depression and everything, it does become monotonous. And you sometimes feel like you can't even crawl out of the hole that you've created.
It's like quicksand,
Right.
you're in it up to your knees. Next thing you know, you're up to your waist, and every single problem seems to be even bigger and bigger and bigger, even if it isn't.
Yeah.
Just as you feel like you're sinking.
Yeah. I like the metaphor. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if there's one thing that we can share today that we hope everybody listening will take with them is, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is really the big thing. And it's challenging and hard to do sometimes because it makes you feel weak or ashamed of something, depending on what you've done or whatever. But trust me, other people have been in any situation that you're in. I mean, that's what life is. If they haven't personally, they know somebody that has.
Yeah. And you're not the only person to go through whatever it is you're going through.
And I think that's the big, that's the big message, is that you're not alone in these feelings or thoughts or what you're going through, that somebody else has had those experiences as well. And I think sometimes when we ask for help, it's two people and maybe they don't have the capacity to help us in the way that we would like them to. And to know that you can ask other people, and there's always going to be somebody or some organization or whatever that is to be able to get you where you need to be.
Well, and sometimes people don't know when they need help. I got a buddy that's going to be in the press box for the game today, and he just doesn't realize he needs help.
How do we get
the
information to Ben that Ben needs help today?
All right, Gary. He wants to carry my bags. I'm bringing my computer. I don't need help you carrying.
It's a long way up, Ben. You might need help up those stairs.
There's an elevator too. So I just really.
Who's gonna push the button?
But
the people that work there.
I'm gonna be watching the game from home. I take it. Okay. Well, I tried one last time, Ben.
Okay.
So let's give that website again and remind everybody how they can get involved.
So healingheightsfoundation.com. The event is September 22nd this year, coming up super quick. And if there's any way, if you want to be part of it and actually do the event, I would love to have you. Or if you want to support and donate, be a sponsor, we can still get those in. And just if you have questions, everything is on the website, even my number. So I hope people will reach out.
And remember the long-term subscriptions that you can do as well. $10 a month, $25 a month, whatever you can afford or would be willing to do is a great long-term for this foundation. So this event's really important, but there's a long time after the event that we want this foundation to grow and help people in Lincoln Lincoln and Omaha, anywhere that you need help. And insurance, that's another thing too that we haven't even touched on, but insurance and as far as what they help cover for mental health is not sufficient.
Right.
In most cases,
most time it's not.
Having a resource where people can go, a concierge service, and find out. Sometimes too, you don't, there's a lot of different types of counseling that's available, but you don't have a lot of counselors that are one size fits all. So the concierge part of that is really good too, where you can find the fit that works for you if you need help.
Yeah. I actually just did a chat with my therapist, and we don't talk very often anymore. I found her when I was in Massachusetts starting my journey, and we did a Zoom recording, and it's up on YouTube. We're going to start a YouTube channel for the exact reason that you just said, that there's not a one size fits all, about the importance of finding the right therapy or the right modality. And it was my experience with therapy in general. And it kind of goes along with what we've been talking about all day, is there's a stigma of being able to say, I go to therapy.
Yeah.
And I hate that we still have that stigma. And I think everyone should go to therapy at some point in their life to be able to learn about themselves. But
Heidi, thanks for being on the air today with us. It's been a pleasure getting to know you better and more about the foundation. You've been listening to the LIBA Business Hour, and hope to connect with you next week.
Yeah, go Big Red.
Yeah, let's get a victory here, Husker Nation.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your